Hello, mamas, peace and blessings. It has been a minute since I've done a live stream from my computer and not my phone. So I just want to make sure that everything is working properly, that you're able to see me and hear me. So if you are watching, please comment. I love to hear from you. I have been in such a deep space of transformation, of reflecting and insight, and really getting clear on what my life is supposed to be about, where I want it to be, what I want to do. Good morning, Chantel. And so, what I realized is I want to focus on helping women, especially single moms, live abundantly ever after. And I talk about that a lot. And what that means to me is that no matter our past circumstances, the trauma that we face, the family that we grew up in, the job that we have, no matter what we experienced in life that made us feel that we weren't worthy, that made us feel that we were judged, that we should be shamed or embarrassed about who we are, I want us to be able to live through that in a space of abundance. Now, abundance means a lot of things. One of the things that comes to mind is most certainly money. The world that we live in, we need money, right? If I didn't wasn't able to have this laptop, you would not see me on here like this, right? We need money to provide for our children. We need money for food, for clothes, for housing, put gas in the car to get to the job, to pay the internet to get to the job. Whatever we do in this world, we have to have the financial sources, resources to take care of ourselves and our family. So that's paramount. That's number one. Abundance is not only about money, it's also about peace, it's about love. It's about healthy relationships. It's about all of the goodness in life. So, what you want to experience an abundance of is probably going to be a little different than what I want to experience. But one thing that I know for sure is we all want to experience an abundance when it comes to money, when it comes to health, and when it comes to relationships. We want to be in happy and healthy relationships. Whether or not we want to admit it. I know a lot of us have had traumatic relationships that made us just say, you know what, keep those, and I'm just going to chill and focus on myself. But really, we were not put here to struggle. We were not put here to um, to struggle for money, for love, for any of those things. And that's why I kind of want to shift away from healing single mothers. It's not that healing is going to come when we're doing the work to live abundantly ever after anyway. And at the core of everything that I do, it's always about healing. It's about releasing trauma. It's about getting to the core of who you are. It's about shifting your mindset and becoming the woman who is abundant in whatever it is that you want to be abundant in, whether it's success, whether it's an amazing career, whether it's travel, whether it's love. You can live that life, but what it starts with is the vision for it. So I shared this on last night's Spiritual Love Circle, which was a lot of fun, to show up like that and to hold space and just talk about things that I feel are important for us. And so any goal, any dream starts with the idea of it. But when I think of like that idea taking root, that's where the vision comes in, because in your mind you're seeing it. In your mind you're able to really visualize what that's like. You're able to dream about yourself in a different life. You're able to see the next best version of yourself. So you're no longer looking at your life as it is now, where maybe it's not, completely where you want to be. Maybe you are not um, driving the car that you want to drive, but instead of saying like, man, I still got this beat up old car, you're like, you know what, I have this awesome car. I'm able to get from point A to point B safely. Everything's running and working the way I need it to. But in the future, I see myself in this big body Benz. In the future, I see myself in the Tessie, right? So whatever that dream is, you need to be able to see it while being in appreciation of where you are. But what happens is we lack the vision because of the things that we see around us every single day. And this is one of the reasons why I highly recommend traveling. Even if you can't do international, if you can't get to another state, get outside of your city, get outside of your town. And that's something I preach to my oldest daughter. travel. If you have the opportunity to go abroad, take it. She's in college right now at Howard, and I always encourage her to travel, 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 travel. Now it was nerve wracking. One of her friends invited her to Florida, and they were going to pay for her flight. The family was going to pay for her flight. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so nerve wracking for me as a mother. Like my child's gonna be off into the sky and she has to go through the different airports. But I'm like, you know what? She needs this experience at a young age. And I'm grateful that she gets to have those experiences. I didn't necessarily get to go flying by myself when I was, how old is she? 18, yeah. So for her to have those experiences, I think is very important. Travel lets you expand your vision. Going to new places lets you expand your vision. So even if you can't get out of your own town, if you usually go to this specific restaurant to, or this specific grocery store, start going to a different one. Expand your vision in small ways. That will allow you to see, like, okay, like I'm more than just my zip code. I'm more than just my city. I'm more than just my state. There's so much more to the world than I've even began to tap into. Once you start getting your eyes physically on some new things, your mind can start to expand. Like, dang, like if I just drive down the street a little bit further, there's a whole new world over here that I have yet to explore. Like, imagine if we can multiply that by all of the places in the world, by all of the things there are to experience, how much more your vision can expand. Travel is one way that you're able to expand your vision, expand your mind. You start to realize that there's so much more to life. You start to see different people and have different experiences. It shifts your mindset and it helps you to expand as a person. And so when you are able to have a vision, to tap into that vision, to close your eyes and see yourself like living that thing, doing that thing, being that woman, that mom, that person. Maybe your thing is that you want to be in a healthy relationship, right? You can't necessarily visualize it because maybe the past few that you had were horrible. And maybe you're like, I don't even think it's possible anymore because of what I've experienced in the past. So maybe you didn't get to experience that healthy relationship. But there are mirrors of it everywhere you look. Maybe you see something online, people are hugging and kissing and they're celebrating their 22nd um, anniversary. That's love. That is a manifestation of healthy relationship. So instead of rolling your eyes and being like, I don't have that, that's not real, or that's not for me, be like, yes, like that's beautiful. Like, look at this vision of love. Now I can embody it. And like how would that feel if that was me? How could I take the energy of this and use it to help me manifest the love and the relationship that I really desire and deserve. So having vision is so important. But it doesn't stop there, right? Because we might get the vision like, okay, yeah, I want a healthy relationship. And we get it. Yes, like we got it, we got it, we got it. But then it's the now what? The now what is the expansion part, because what happens is we get the vision, we reach the goal, and we get comfortable. And we forget that there's more, right? So let's say you get that healthy relationship, everything's going, it's flowing, y'all been dating for a minute. Well, what's the expanded version of that? Is that marriage? Is that moving in together? Like, you want expansion. I know I don't want a boyfriend and then he want to ask me to marry him at 72. Sir, no, that's not expansion. So the expanded version of getting in that healthy relationship is, how can we together transform this relationship to the next level? So what does expansion of your vision look like? Like, okay, you want the nice car, but then what? Is that it? Like, you get the nice car and then you're done? Or do you want to add on to that? How can you cultivate more success in your life? Maybe it's the house. Maybe you're like, okay, like I got the car, like now I want a new home. What's next for you? Maybe it's relocating out of the country. Continue to expand your vision. Don't just set your sight on the one thing and get it and think that life is complete. There's always new levels and new goals, something new that you should be striving for. which is why you should have a big picture vision. And you might have more than one. I forget who it is, but they recommend that you have at least 100 or more goals that you want to achieve in your life, because it always keeps you striving for something. Where did I read that? If I find out, I'll come back and post it. And that's where the activation comes from. When you have a vision and you continue expanding, it activates you to keep growing, to keep leveling up. It's almost like a game, right? Like Zelda. I used to love Zelda as a child, right? You have the map, you got to collect all the little things and go through and get the little animals in the wilderness. And I don't even remember like the purpose of the game, but I just knew I loved it. And so you're always getting to a new level once you conquer the goal. The game just don't stop after level one, like, all right, that's it, it's done. No, like, you done gained experience points, so now you have new skill sets, new resources. Now you have another level of challenges, of opportunities, of experiences that you can navigate. And I think one of the other things that stops us is we think that because we reach the goal, that life is just supposed to be sweet. It's supposed to be butter. The waves are going to stop rolling. No, it does not matter. You can be as financially fit, as financially stable, as physically fit, as mentally healthy, as emotionally stable, as intelligent. You're always going to continue to experience new challenges in life. It doesn't mean that something's wrong with you, or you did something bad, or that you're messed up, or you got a curse on you. It just means that you're experiencing life. But you take all of the things that you learned in the past, all of the resources that you have access to, and you use those things together to help you level up, to help you grow through those challenges, and you continue to evolve and to grow and to expand. And that's really what life is all about. And that's why I'm kind of shifting things to really focus on the abundantly ever after and what that can look like on a day to day. So it's not like just the major big goal of, like, taking over the world, or um, whatever it may be. Like I said, one of my goals is to relocate. I want to move to Costa Rica, but there's so many other things that I need to do on a daily basis in order to get to that end goal. And then once I reach that goal, it's going to be something else that I need to do. And I might be like, okay, I done spent a few years here. Like, now it's time for something new. So what's next? There's always a new level. And so that's something that I really wanted to just impress upon your hearts and minds, is to think about your vision, what that is, and how can you expand that, and then allow that to activate you, get your juices flowing, get your thoughts moving. Who do you need to talk to? What resources do you need to gather? What mindset do you need to adopt? What habits do you need to drop? Which ones do you need to develop? What's going to sustain you in achieving your goals and living what your abundantly ever after is? So I'm going to include, oh, greetings, Michela. I'm going to include a link for that space. It's not up and running yet, but I will invite you into the group, because this is something that really, really means a lot to me. This space is not going away, so don't worry if that's something that you're worried about. This will continue to be here because there is a direction and a path for Healing Single Mothers as like an organization that I want to continue developing. But I just wanted to share these nuggets of wisdom with you. Next Tuesday, we're going to be back in the Spiritual Love Circle. These are going to be like weekly events for us to connect. This month, we're talking about vision. So next Tuesday, we're going to be talking about clarity in your vision, how you can get clear. So next week, you'll want to bring a journal or something to write with and write on, because I'm going to be asking you some questions. We're going to take time to really write and figure out what that vision is, because something that stops most of us is we don't know. Right? Life has been life. We've been put in particular boxes that have become super comfortable and familiar to us. So thinking outside those boxes and starting to dream really big can be a challenge when we've kind of been taught to have tunnel vision, like, this is the way we're supposed to be, this is the way we're supposed to live. So I want to help you dream big next week in the Spiritual Love Circle. The link will also be in the description for you as well. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad that you are here. I cannot wait to continue growing and developing with you. I'm sending you an abundance of love. Have an amazing Wednesday. Peace.